Welcome to our Reiki healing program, week 4. And today we're going to really sink into spirit, have just a beautiful session that doesn't require too much thinking. Ideally, we'll do more thinking next week, okay? But yeah, we're really going to sink into ourselves, all right? So if you do want to journal at any point in time, sometimes you can do like little cliff notes, or bullet points on what you're experiencing, leaving lines in between that you can go back to, right? Good. Okay, so to start, let's do 3 rounds of Om, all of us, okay? Couple breaths first, coming to your full breath. Notice where you're inhaling, expanding, especially the belly. Let it come up to backs of ribs, up to shoulders, throat, exhaling down the body. One more round, deep breathing. Good. Clear your throat a little. Tap it. Give it some love. Good. Let's bring our hands to prayer pose at heart center. Inhale, exhale, Om, 3 rounds. Om. Good, one more. Excellent. And when you chant Om 3 times, you're bringing it in for body, mind, and spirit. All right. Anytime you do something 3 times, you can see it that way. There's a lot of 3s in the magical universe. Good. So I want to talk to you about our spirit helpers today. A little bit of diving into our guides, right? And in time, that's going to get stronger and stronger. Your connection is going to get stronger and stronger. The more you work with them, the more you call on them, they will come, okay? And you'll start to sense different vibrations when they do enter your field, or you'll feel a tingling, or you'll even feel your Reiki turn on. So you'll get used to how that feels for you. And then you'll also get used to something coming in that might be coming in with a message or an emergency. So for instance, I had a friend that was standing on a street corner and something yelled in her ear to move, like literally yelled, move. And she did, and moments later a car had crashed right in that spot, So they will intervene in emergency situations. And that's that cool stuff you'll see caught on camera. Some of that stuff's real, right? Usually they're manifesting as a person. So a lot of people that appear human are even angels, right? And so my Karuna Reiki master, which is a higher level of unconditional loving vibration that you get after your mastery, you have to have your mastery for 6 months. This is not always the path for everyone, but it's very Kuan Yin, unconditional loving, guided. Anyway, my teacher, she was the reincarnate of Mary Todd Lincoln. And she was very interesting. She was a sweet little angel lady, and she wrote an angel book and had all these great stories about angels. And I was like, oh yeah, I started remembering things like my parents telling a story about being in a field in a car, and this is before seatbelts, and the whole car flipped upside down. I guess there was gas leaking. They had my sister in the car, and someone out of the blue came out of the field and reached in and turned their car off, and then they disappeared, like, police, like nobody could find them, things like that. But you're going to find there's a lot of times in your life where, they'll appear in ways for you like that, right? And then, but for the most part, they are waiting for us to call on them and ask for their assistance because of our free will. All right. So if you want to get into angels a little bit, watch the movie City of Angels, which really, gave me chills. And if you have seen it, watch it again. It's as, we're upgrading our energy that sometimes this information becomes more into ourselves. We take it in stronger, right? So again, in our teaching, we're taking it in slices, right? Otherwise, people are only getting bits and pieces if they can't digest the whole loaf. Okay. So when we do start, so here in our third eye, we know our inner self. We know we are beings of light. We remember that we're healers and beautiful divine beings, right? But when we come to crown, we then do the connection to the divine. And that is where the Reiki comes in. That's where I attune you. I open you up here and place some loving symbols guided by our guides, our angels, our masters. And then I see, feel, and know that I'm bringing it into your being, right? And then I'm also putting those symbols in your hands. I do get into a lot of mudras, so I have a lot of advanced manuals that are interesting, and one is about all these different, they're called the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, and they're spiritual Buddhas, and each of them has a pose and a chant. So, there's always so much to learn, right? And why that would be of interest is Usui was Buddha. But there you'll also learn there's many sects, S-E-C-T-S, sects. I can't even say it. Sects of Buddhism. There we go. And his was Amida or Amitabha Buddha. Whew, I feel that, yeah. So when I'm calling in Buddha energy, working with it, and it's working with me, it's peaceful. It's very peaceful. It's very mindful. Like Thich Nhat Hanh, who is also Buddhist, right? Very mindful. So as we then are connecting to the divine, we're connecting to our spirit helpers, we're also calling on the Reiki, calling on these beings, and every time we do, our own vibration gets higher and higher. This is enabling us to sustain light for longer periods of time. And it's also letting the mud of the universe just slide off of us, and less will affect you, ideally. Okay. It's a process, right? Yeah. So we go through those layers. So I would say a year maximum from your master attunement, let's say, definitely since the beginning of this process, you're going to see all of your transformations complete. Okay. There'll be learning curves. You may decide to start teaching after a period of time. That'll be a learning curve. But every time we teach, we're also relearning, receiving. There's just so much beauty in it, always. Yeah, so it never feels to me like I'm being put out or putting energy out there to a point where I'm not receiving. I'm always also receiving. And that's the beauty of the Reiki energy. The other thing about Reiki, compared to some other modalities, I find is that we don't have to re-experience all the pain of the root wound fully all the time. It might come up into awareness, but then it just fills with light, and ideally you're letting that go. And that's also what forgiveness is, right? Letting go of any attachments to people that are literally draining you. Yeah, so in this lifetime and past lifetimes, right? So there are soulmate contracts that we have in this lifetime. And of course, we picked our parents, we picked our path. Even if you've got one of those extra hard paths, okay, you chose it before you came in to help you learn some lessons. Usually it's so you could overcome those lessons and then teach it, teach how you did it, right? And yeah, the stronger your energy, the bigger your mission, as they say. Sometimes the harder the lessons. But, life doesn't have to be so hard that we sit in it all the time. We need to keep moving forward. We need to keep being joyful. We can't let things, put our light out. And that's where the energy work brings in the calm, the peace. So when there's anger and these other emotions that come up, and now that we're getting into Reiki 2, we really can apply the energy to these situations. So we're going to be able to apply the energy to the literal fight that might have occurred, or maybe to a future flight that you're literally going on. So it's really great because ideally we're sending the energy, sending the light so that the highest situation occurs, right? Yeah, it's beautiful. That being said, sometimes in counseling when I'm working with people, I had a client that really wanted a specific job, a specific way, and time frame even to get to a city she wanted to move to. And I suggested to her that she not worry about all the hows and how she'll get there, because sometimes the universe has way bigger plans for us. And when we're manifesting and we ask for this specific thing, so specific that it's limiting our gifts, it can block our progress. And you'll know this to be true if the manifestation isn't coming in. Okay. And so in manifesting, instead think of, have me be in the highest place and timeline for my greatest good, right? And see how those things flow. And we do that as well in healing. We ask that the healing occur at the highest frequency without doing harm. Reiki doesn't do harm, but we ask that it come in a way they can handle, right? And then let the energy do its work and we observe it objectively. That's really a great part of counseling and being a healer too. Even when you're reading cards, you go into your higher self to see things from a higher objective. Especially true, if there's, if it's people some things about, right? Yeah, so that way always the higher situation occurs. And then you try and do that for your own life as well. And so, yeah, applying the Reiki is what I call it, applying the Reiki, is then going to be for your food, your water, your vitamins, your pets, of course, and children who tend to need less, right? But your plant water, every time you take an offering from your plant, you thank it, and then I give it a little Reiki, You can do a whole Reiki garden where you're putting symbols and energy and even crystals that are infused with your Reiki into the soil. It's very beautiful. It's also nice to have a Reiki garden. I've done this at events where everybody came and painted their own rock and then placed it in this special garden that I sent energy to, you know. Yeah, there's so many ways. You could put it in teddy bears and give it away. Dolls, especially if they're ill, right? Or dream pillows. We've done that with lavender and crystals inside. You can Reiki your art. You can turn your Reiki on before you do anything artistic, writing, cooking, whatever the creative thing is that you're bringing in. Okay, it can even be paying the bills. We're always in creation when we do that. And but you can also then Reiki the tools that you're using, right? Yeah. What else can we Reiki? Just about everything that you put into your being. Yeah. Cool. So the more you play with it, the more you call it in, the stronger your vibration, the quicker it's going to come in. Right? Yeah. So your spirit helpers then are going to be what you want to work with, right? And who works with you easily. I will say that this aquamarine dragon from Neptune came in today for our class. And I really love this energy because he's a water dragon, right? He's the king of the oceans, Neptune. But we're also working with the watery element today and some of the solar plexus fire. But I find that the emotions after today, they come to the surface. And again, apply the Reiki, let it flow, right? Remember that river, she is flowing, flowing and growing down to the sea. You know, right, let it go, right? Also, you know, remembering that when you are feeling intense emotions, and it's after giving, sending, or even giving a session, you know, not mine, not mine, let it go, right? So when you're first a practitioner and you're working on people, people are going to be drawn to you that have, yeah, put Reiki in everything. Yeah, people are going to be drawn to you that instinctually have some similar wounds as you. And so guess what? It is a win-win because as you're Reikiing them, you're healing yourself at the same time. And know the energies aren't mixing in this melting pot of goo. It's just full of light and love. Okay. And that being said, you might also feel your people's energies before they come in. And you'll be like, oh, that's why the back of my shoulders hurt, or, you know, something like that. And then you give them the session, and maybe you'll feel the purge for them a little bit. But as you become a really great practitioner, you learn not to hold on to that. You remember to do the tools I gave you to release and let go of things. You do your daily protection, our zip ups, our 3 thumps, right? As soon as we get in the car, I tell all the kids, 3 thumps, zip up. Everybody, you know, they'll have friends in the car. Now they're doing it too, you know. It's great. So your spirit helpers, so we know we talk about Reiki guides. That guide is going to come through in a way that works for you. They're going to speak to you in a way that works for you. They might be an angel form. They might be a nature spirit. They might just be a being of light. They might be an animal totem. They could be a deceased ancestor. Could go way back. No joke. So when you start getting, when these guides come in for you, and you might even get new ones for each attunement, no lie, okay? But when they come in for you and you're having conversations with them, you might ask them if they're in your line. Because I'm feeling that. Because if they are, then they are helping you heal the whole family line. Okay. So we've got big jobs. And then we have, of course, ascended masters. We then have archangels, right? So we're talking about going up the deity tree, you know, those closest to us or closest to our field. The ones that are a little harder to hear now are going to be those angels, a little more up here. Let me know if we get some weird sound things again today. Whenever I talk about these things, we get some glitches, but Spirit knows that we're going to be okay today. And then you get the deities that people tend to work with. People tend to personify beings of light. So they'll put a face on Jesus, they'll put a face on the goddess. And when enough people think of that face and that being simultaneously or on this grand scale, those beings then are there for us in that personification. Okay. However, again, it's going to come through in things that work for you. So Archangel Michael might be in a dragon form for you. He might just be this glowing bluish white being. So there does tend to be certain, I just got the ringing confirmation that he's here. And so there's going to be beings that definitely have colors as well. And so that might be energies that you see in the healing session too. Good. Right, what else do you want to say? You know, make sure to, you know, honor them with an altar. Okay. That's how you're creating sacred space. That's how you are keeping your vibration higher and higher each day. We saw Archangel Michael last night. It's beautiful. Yeah. I didn't know we were going to work with him today until an hour ago. Yeah. So when you find those beings that you just really want to study, honor, embrace, you'll start to feel them in your cells. You'll start to feel them in your heart. And so even with chanting, at first when we're chanting, we're like, okay, this feels like I'm just sort of talking or singing. But then the idea of bhakti, which is devotional chanting to their beings, their gods, Om Shrim, Lakshmi, and those things, right? I teach a lot of that in my Bridges to Meditation class. And so when we chant with pure heart's intent and love, or even pray, okay? So yeah, I know sometimes we think of prayer and we don't want to pray because of religious things that might have gone on in our world or how we see that, right? And so, yeah, I was actually raised Mormon. And so when I got out of the church, yeah, I forsake a lot of that. But then I went into, you know, earth healing, Native American, paganism, you know, picked up my tarot, things like that, right? But then I came back to how important it is to ask for things. And that's essentially what we're doing. And we're also in gratitude, right? Especially in the evening. So as you know, are falling asleep at night, the more you have gratitude too, the more you have that gratitude, you are drawing more in. It's pretty simple. It's like, yes, more please, universe. Yay. Make it bigger. Yay. Yeah, and that's how it works. So it's beautiful. So when you do find a being you want to work with, maybe it's Mother Mary, if there is in your life, or clients, right? We're always speaking for everyone, that doesn't have a mother figure, that doesn't have a father figure even, or maybe renounce their church and God and things of that nature, right? Then it's going to be important that they work with a being of light that's like a mother goddess or father god, even if that is Gaia and the sun, the moon and the sun. Okay? Yeah, cool. All right, let me check in the chat. Everybody's loaded up. Let's see. All right, so yeah, we're going to get some beautiful energy coming in. Yes, Archangel Michael has a definite vibration. And yeah, so what I posted, attitude of gratitude. Yeah, different depictions of deities. Right, right. So they're going to look different. They're even have, they're going to have different color skin even. Yeah, we're going to talk about symbols. We're not there yet. Thanks so, Jen, for reminding me. Yeah. So the energy we're going to receive with Archangel Michael today. So that manual, if you had a chance to read what I just posted, let's go over it a little bit, okay? So I go through the different types of psychic attack, the history of angels, which is a Sanskrit for Angiris, which means divine spirit. It's also Persian for the word courier. Western culture says angelos, Los Angeles, like that. So it's like messenger. They're messengers of God. And so all angels have EL on the end. And so it's Michael, Gabriel, all right, is Hebrew for the most part, okay? And then you'll notice in different traditions, different pantheons, beliefs, similar angels, similar looking, but a little different, that might have names that are similar, but also a little different, right? So you got Christians, Muslims, Jews, Buddhists, pagans, animists. So many people have believed in angels, all right? The ancient Egyptians referred to them as the Ka. They were those little small winged beings that you'll see in carvings that are tiny and next to people. And what's funny, that's like the old cartoons, where you got a devil and an angel. Those are your Kas, all right? And so there's always one that's like gonna give you wrong information, all right? But the more you work with those positive ones, right, you're gonna bring them in, okay? Plus they're like so strong. They if anything, I find those negative thoughts that we sometimes think of as negative spirits are your brain, because it's literally our mental and our mindset that will then mess with us, right? And so we have our inner critic, we have our shadow self, all right? So this is almost always like a part of you too. That's just some of you don't know where to work with. Yeah, we're shadows. They're talking to you. All right, so ideally, though, even archangels, all beings of light, they are still working with source, the top light, so to speak. All right, however you see that. It could be a Sophia, goddess dragon, the creatrix of some kind, right? Most people believe that creation is actually feminine. But I don't care what you believe, just believe, right? So I never force beliefs on anybody, because again, I got nuns, all kinds of people of all beliefs that'll do Reiki. And that's why, even in my Facebook feed, I tend to be really open for all of it. right? So I'm not going to be predominantly this or predominantly that. I want to be open to all faiths and beliefs, right? Just believe. That's my truth, right? And so the symbol that I've given you guys, and on paper, it looks like a triangle with other 4 symbols in it. But are basically just light symbols, okay? Don't get too hung up on it. But then that's just 2-dimensional on paper. So you're going to see it as like a full pyramid that's going around on all 4 sides. 4 points to a pyramid, right? Anchoring it down, okay? You might even then see it, the reverse of it as well, and then under the feet. Yeah. Or you do it reverse, and it becomes a work of like, yeah, get with it, get jiggy with it. All right. How you perceive that today is just going to be how it works for you. We're mainly going to work with Michael, and then you're going to practice using the symbol as protection. And so ideally what you're doing is you just, start with just the pyramid itself, and then you start on just, studying one symbol at a time in the middle. In time, because we're multidimensional beings, you don't have to focus on one symbol at a time. Everything goes in at once. Okay. And the protection, the beings, like everything just comes in as fast as that. Right? This is why I don't want any excuses that you don't have time to just like think about it. Just like with Reiki, you're probably, now I'm hot, of course. Just like with Reiki, you're probably noticing that your energy turns on, right? And so, yeah, don't worry about the symbol right now, Jen. Okay, so when you're these multidimensional beings, and this is also why we protect, you are going to be healing people just walking in the space, right? Just by talking to people, even on the messenger, okay? In your pictures even. And so your Reiki empowered self then is vibrating those really good vibes, right? But we're also making sure that there's no jealousies at us, and that every night we're bringing our energy back into ourselves. So I just say, I call my power back, right? Good. So let's talk about psychic attack. So oftentimes you'll think of someone, it's an energy attack, right? So you'll think of someone that's in your field that's draining you. Maybe they're draining you on purpose. Maybe it's a relationship. Someone you work with, right? That's how we tend to think of it, right? But it can literally be someone purposefully sending energy, okay? Wishing harm. I find the more you work with like angels, nobody can touch you, all right? And just have that faith and knowledge, okay? Then you have vampirism, and that's when someone's draining your energy field, and they may or not know it. Okay, so remember that diagram I put in that had different energy fields and energy bodies? And some of them were like hooks that went into other people's energy, or other people's energy bodies were like porcupines and are like blocked off, right? Well, the ones that are a little bit more fluid, the ones that don't know their boundaries from others, okay, are the ones that have weak boundaries, literally, right? But they don't realize that they need others to make themselves feel good. Sometimes they've been doing it for a lifetime. Maybe they came into this world of the wound. So when someone comes into the world with a wound or handicap or whatever you want to call that, usually there's a karmic crown chakra thing that they're bringing in to this world. Yeah. And then, or they were neglected in childhood, or for some other reasons, they form codependency. This can happen, of course it happens in childhood, but it can happen at any point in time. Okay, codependency. All right, so yeah, so people can unconsciously or consciously do the vampirism. Okay, and it's when you can imagine it's like a little straw in your energy, a little hook, a little drain, a little string. Psychic contamination then is when your energy is really weak. Okay, so something like a cancer patient that maybe has a compromised immune system already, they can then be contaminated by negative energy from people that are toxic. So we might also think of like an empath that just can't handle negative things around them. And so then we look back to think of why. A lot of us are, again, higher vibrational, where we're higher voltage in our light bulbs, right? And those that come into our field, we like cringe. Yeah, but the whole empath narc relationship, I mean, that's a whole other thing. Sometimes people will prey upon you and that sort of thing, right? But in the end, regardless of how high vibe you are, how intuitive you are, you need to be in your power. Okay? So, again, no excuses. Get strong. All right? And so you're getting strong by trusting in these beings you're calling on. You're strong in your body physically. Maybe you're just doing the breath of fire every day, right? Empower yourself with those people in your life as well. Okay? But when you are a little weaker in your energy, we did mention going out in public can be a drain because there's so many energies, right? Again, you will get stronger, but let's say you're going through something in your life. You're going to be a little weaker at that time. Maybe you just did like today's workshop. Your energy is going to be a little bled into things right now as you're adjusting. Okay, so it's always good to avoid people in those situations. Okay, I'm going on and on. Let's keep going. Okay, so when there is signs of psychic attack would be bad luck, accidents, money problems, job loss, illness, anxiety. Yeah, I find that as soon as people realize who's draining them in their life, or they don't know and they just ask for that protection and do our big ritual that's coming up for Reiki 3, which is the lemon ritual. That's the big boy, the big guns, as we say. Remember, we did bay leaf rituals. That's good on the daily. Sage. Just do the things. Okay. If you are stuck with something, or you need, bigger assistance, let me know. I did, and we're going to learn a lot of this towards the end of class, where we're getting into how to clear out beings. Okay. But I studied it a lot at one point in my life. I watched every ghost show. Yeah, I was so into it. And I've learned a lot. I've seen a lot of spirits and things, and yeah, in the end, I know that um, I'm strong. Yeah. Uh-oh. Did my voice go out when I started talking about these veins? All right, let's move on. Okay, how to use a symbol. Here we go. So you're going to use it to basically invoke, which is the same thing as prayer. And also remember, on the flip side of prayer is meditation, listening, watching for the signs. Otherwise, what's the point, right? You got to pay attention. Okay. So prayer is an act of masculine, and then receiving those signs is intuitive feminine. Okay. So watching for those signs. Signs usually come in threes. They come in everything, right? We talked a lot about different ways you see it in your clairs. But you can put this symbol, all right? So first just think about it as a pyramid, okay? Going over your being. You can put it over you, everyone in your space and your loved ones. Then I also put it on my house, definitely on my car when I'm driving, my plane when I'm flying, my bank account, checkbook, we used to say. If you have a checkbook, right? Yeah, situations, whatever you need to protect, okay? But we're also going to work with him today and his sword. So I don't know if you ever used to watch Xena. I love Xena. So with each of my children that I nursed, and if you've ever nursed, you're kind of couch bound for a long period of time each day. Okay. They're usually got a good nappy nurse, right? So with my kids, like especially with my oldest who's higher vibrational, I couldn't even like lie them down in their bed and nurse them to sleep. As soon as I would leave, they would wake up. And I just like gave in. I was like, okay, I'm just nursing kids on my lap and I'm going to watch, my show for the moment. Right. And so with each kid, I got into a different program. And so, yeah, I think it was Friends with Amber. This is like 2001. Okay. And then Xena with my Jasmine J. And then it was Sex in the City with Logan. So I would binge watch these, right? But Xena. So there's like one of the seasons, it might be like season 3, and it was a little funky at the time when I think about it. But when you go back and rewatch these, there's this whole season where she is literally getting to know the archangels. She's even having wars with them, and they are badass. Okay. And that's really how you need to see them. So not only are they badass in being used for healing, but in protection. All right. And again, this is if they work for you. All right. I find most people, and again, in belief systems, are pretty okay working with angels. All right. So that's however you want to perceive it. Moors. No, I didn't see Moors. So, yeah, so most light workers then need protection until you feel so strong, yeah, then you become that warrior within. Right? And so when I use Archangel Michael's sword in healing, I might even see it flicking things out of my chakras. And we're going to do that today for you. Like cords from others. Okay. And then I might even go further and see, feel, and know an entire sword, like King Arthur's Excalibur, going down my entire spine. Now remember, it's energetic, it's light. Okay. And it's just purging and bringing light into all time and space, right? Maybe even anchoring that light all the way down and out the tailbone and into the center of the planet. So these are ways of amplifying your Reiki, of bringing in additional guidance in your practice. Okay, good. All right, and then I talk about how to do remote healings, and then you can literally attune others to this Archangel Michael shield. So that is what it is. It's a shield, okay, as a symbol, so now we're looking at the symbol, and Jen was asking what they each were. So, the right hand top, the ones within the blue circle, is the sun, right? And then we have the lightning bolt, and we're going to be working more with lightning bolt type symbols, okay? These are all just light. They're all just symbols for light. So you got a 4-pointed star that might represent the directions, right? Like a compass. And then you have the 5-pointed star that's representing the elements, all right? And so when I see it, I see, feel, and know that it's literally just, dropping into my head, into my awareness, and then also filling up my being as the pyramid comes to either side. It takes practice, okay, to just visualize it, okay? But it's really going to help you practice using your mind to heal things quicker. This is where we get a little bit more into shamanism and multidimensional mind work. And so I also am a Mayan shaman and have done some extra training in that nature. I don't know. Have you, Daniela? Did you ever study with them over there in St. Pete? And it really can teach you how to remote view. So you see yourself in that person's body, you see yourself in their eyes with permission, right? We'll be getting into all of the ethics of this as well. And of course, sometimes you go there and you don't mean to, right? Those things happen. Excuse me. And then, going into like psychic surgery and going really deep into the body. And so to do these things, you're practicing on yourself, right? So maybe you're, Reiki healing a chakra, and you see yourself diving deeper into the depths of it. What I do is I will go up, energy up my root. So either up the rectum or up the vagina, and I follow the path, and I see myself like, Adventures Through Inner Space with Martin Short. If you've ever seen that, it's like the funniest movie in the world, that he gets miniaturized and shot into someone's butt. Okay. And it's like that. If you can see and miniature you even, or your awareness is tiny, you've seen it, right, Jen? Then you get an even deeper awareness of our beings. And then you start really exploring organs and seeing internally what's going on with people. So maybe you're floating around the fallopian tubes, the endometrium lining, like you can get in to the body. So start with yourself, right? Get into it. Maybe for you, it's more energetic, and you're seeing the light codes and that sort of thing within the body. But yeah, if you can get into the physical parts, or maybe you're first catching the energy of a situation, and then you take your awareness deeper to see, and then you ask your guides and higher self, is this about this? Notice how it feels. Okay, is this about this? Notice how it feels. Usually yeses, again, your energy will turn on and it'll flow to the situation. Let me think about that one, Rachel. Okay, so what else do we need to know today? That's literally how I try to approach every day, every session. What do we need to know? What do we need to know today? That's a really great way to work with spirit. Okay. So when you get into your being, let's say you're working with Mother Mary, right? She loves roses. You might do offerings that they love and enjoy. Okay. Good. All right, connecting daily to your pantheon, your practice, even if it's just lighting a candle, even if it's just seeing a picture and your goals, and you're just giving a little Reiki that you're beaming it to, right? Okay. All right. That's good. Yeah. So these beings of light, they're always also ascending, and they also will benefit from that Reiki light to them. So yeah, keep the energy flowing to it. All right, so if you have your forgiveness rituals in front of you, that's groovy. If not, no big deal, but you're going to think about the strongest chords you might need to release today with so-and-so. Maybe you're not sure where they are in the body. Maybe that'll come up. Maybe you're not sure who needs to release. Maybe they will come up. Maybe more than one person will come up. Okay? Good. And we're going to go through a protection attunement with Michael. He's just going to come in, bless you, bless your space. And we're going to bring in some of our forgiveness, and we're going to heal those situations with those people. It might be deep, okay? You might want to let that flow, okay? It's good chi, it's good ki to let it go, however that is for you. Maybe you hold on to it a little bit and let it go later. Sometimes we're really good at that. But I encourage you to not hold on to anything, okay? Good. And when we remove these cords again, have it be by the root, not just cutting, but I imagine, see, feel, and know that that energetic sword is going within and doing, maybe surgery in a flick. You can even literally take your fingers. This is the Dakini Mudra. It's not Ubi from puppets. The thumb and fingers are all meeting. And so this is bringing all of your energy together in a beautiful point. And then that can be your surgery. And I do this a lot when I'm creating, or the evil scientist one, which is actually crown chakra, right? Yeah, okay. So we're gonna go through that, and and then we'll go from there. Okay, we're gonna get your attunement in from there. I'm gonna take you into that state of relaxation, and then we'll see what we have time for from there. But my feeling is that I would really like you guys to sort of float away into your own beautiful processes after the attunement and meditations of today, and not think too much, not have to take in any more information on a mental level, because I want you to all practice taking it in on a feeling level. Okay, good. All right. And feelings come and go. Wave it out. So I'm really goofy today. Which is great, because that means the energy is going to be light and fluffy. All right, that's good. But ways to heal after our attunement today. Yeah, ride the wave. Like, don't you just want to go to the beach or get in the water? Yeah, so if you can find a pool, if you live near me, I think Rachel's the one that lives near me. I have a pool. night swims, but soaking in Epsom salt, swimming, drinking a lot of water that might be empowered with, say, lemon, extra things like that, because we are clearing a lot of the emotional body, which tends to have, some of that heart stuff, right? So there's emotional layers, remember, to each of the chakras as well, okay? But working with rose quartz is going to be so self-loving for you this week. Those of you that are in my Energy of the Breath workshop on Valentine's Day, the same goes for that. Self-love, rose quartz. Not only that, but you can take rose quartz and put it around your beauty products, your beauty altar, maybe that's to your goddess even, and get beautiful. Yeah. And the other way to get beautiful is rose water that you squirt on your face. It's you get it at the health food store. It's not very expensive at all. There's rose essence that's used in cooking, and that's a little different. That's Mediterranean. This is rose water. You can put it on your heart chakra, on your altar, also your face. It's really great. It minimizes wrinkles. Okay. Yeah, water. Another thing about Epsom salts, and you could take, even if you had to, like a baking soda bath or Himalayan salt bath, but they might be a little more caustic to the body and the skin, so don't use too much. But Epsom salts are meant to be used in abundance. Can I get the word out? So, for instance, autistic children and any children with sensory things really, really benefit from baths each night before bed that are at least 30 minutes long, with 2 to 4 cups of the Epsom salt in the bath. And you literally make it just a super fun experience. Yeah, with toys and colors and right, all the things. That being said, dyes can affect children and beings of higher vibration. So you're going to notice that your own being also is going to start rejecting things that you used to ingest and have around you, right? And so that's also going to be artificial dyes and colors, artificial sugars, because you're going to feel bad and you're going to notice that it's affecting your energy levels. And you'll naturally just feel like, nope, I want to feel better. That's what Reiki does. It makes you feel better. So that's really good. Good. All right. Gotta take a breath. Everybody, let's take a quick potty break, and then we're going to get into it. All right. Good. Let me check questions. I'll talk about your questions when y'all get back, okay? Okay, so in looking at the chats, was that you, Daniela, that asked about if I said Moors? I'm not sure what that was, as in the Moors. I know I was talking about Archangel Michael. Maybe we were talking about the TV shows I was watching, or Xena, I don't know. And yeah, and then taking biology, anatomy, super important, and makes you a better healer. I took a lot of that because I'm also a court reporter, stenographer. Legal terminology, I had to learn all that stuff. A chakra connected with the ego, pride, how to lessen. It depends on how you're using it. Generally, that's a power thing, right? So solar plexus, unless it's like a low self-worth thing, and that might be more in the belly. Okay. Um, I feel like it's energy of maybe someone that you grew up with. And yeah, ride the wave. Yeah, sorry, you're getting more sensitive. All right, when you're beaming Reiki, do you call on your guides? You know, call on your guides every morning anyway, every day. All right. Call on your guides, call on your Reiki, you know, ask that it only flow when you want it to and those sorts of things, right? But when I am in an emergency situation, when I'm just going by in a car even, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm just beaming it. Like I have no time to call on anything but me sending it right there and then, okay? Yes, you can work with a pendulum on people. It's another way of doing a scan. You can also do yes or no questions. Again, you know, don't get too mental in your sessions. Initially, just go with the flow, feel the energy. I know nothing about Queen Maeve, although she's a fairy queen. I'm sure she's fabulous. What else? Hand positions, Reiki food and water, stuff like that. Yeah. We'll get into that, Jen, okay? Because we're going to get really into symbols. But for now, just beam. Just beam. All right. Did you guys see me on camera when I was looking at those chats? There's so much to learn, right? It's exciting. So, yeah. So for now, I just like shoot it. I don't know. I do a little. Or I'll be in this column of light and I'll grab a bubble from it and put it in something. All right. It's another great way of doing it. Yeah. I don't know about Queen Maeve, but yeah, she sounds like a fairy queen. You might want to look up the Tuatha De Danann of the Irish Celtic folklore, who are the original peoples, and was Brigid's line of family, the original peoples that were like kind of Lemurian in nature, but over there in the Celts. Tuatha De Dananns. That's all I know. All right, good. All right, let's get into it, okay? Come into your sacred space, come into your body by sinking into it, coming into your breath. All right. Again, like the beginning of class, notice your breath, notice your breathing. Taking such deep breaths that you're allowing all of your prana from your breath to go deep to your cells, all the way down to the DNA. Really infuse your being with your breath. Exhale, see those cells, your being opening, growing, enlightening. Mm. We're calling on Archangel Michael today to assist us in protecting each of us in our containers and in our spaces. And so you're going to see first this beautiful blue light that's way up above your head. So take your consciousness there now. Bringing your awareness up, 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 as if your eyes, your third eye even, is tilting up like a flashlight beam going up, up, up to the sky. Notice the awareness, how far up it goes. Good. As you're looking up, you're going to see this beautiful bluish white ball of light. And we thank Archangel Michael for being here today. And we're going to allow his light to come into your being. See, feel, and know how that works for you. It's coming down, down. It's entering your crown. As it enters your crown, it opens up into this beautiful pyramid all around you. Taking that blue ball of light into your heart, maybe seeing those other symbols if you like, in any order that works for you. Lightning bolt, sun, 4-pointed cross, 5-pointed star. Anchoring that beautiful energy all the way down and around you. See, feel, and know it's even going past the earth's crust, penetrating deep into the earth, as you're protected everywhere. Good. And he wants you to take 3 deep breaths. Inhale. As you exhale, see this energy getting bigger and expanding, filling up your entire room. And another deep breath. Exhale, let it expand past your entire building. Good. Another deep breath. Exhale. See, feel, and know it's expanding past your whole block, your street, maybe your city. Good. I feel like Archangel Michael wants to assist us in bringing in a little more energy in the crown and third eye today. So bring your awareness there. And he's pouring more blue light into your crown. It's filling up your third eye, your head. And it's his essence. And it's healing some past life wounds. So if there's anything that's been stopping you in this lifetime from being your authentic self, ask to let it go. Good. All right. I feel like that energy is clear now. It's also going to help you to open up to him, is what I'm hearing. Open up to his energy, his sound, his vibration as it comes through ears, throat, and everything. Okay, beautiful. And with Archangel Michael's loving light, he then takes our hand and lifts us up, up, up out of our bodies. We're going to follow him to the enlightenment plane. Going up now, then past the moon. Good. The other side of the moon, passing the Milky Way, passing some rainbow hues, passing like a pink plasma, passing a window, going through this window now where you see the brightest light. Here's your enlightenment plane. Let's go there. Landing on your enlightenment plane, however that looks for you. Just have your awareness up. See and feel so much light here, so much unconditional love. All your beautiful helper beings are here whenever you need to access them, including the wisdom of your higher self. Good. And here on the enlightenment plane, you're going to be in a room. This room is sort of octagon in shape. It has many sides, many doors and windows. And you're going to choose now one of the doors that's going to lead you to the person you need to disconnect from today with loving light. So choosing your door, noticing the door, maybe mark it in some way. Maybe if you don't know who it is and where you're going, that's okay. Arriving at your door. Good. And on the count of 3, you're going to open your door And you're going to see, feel, and know the person that you're here speaking to, their higher self on the enlightenment plane, whom you need to disconnect from today with love and light. 1, you already know who it is. 2, allow it to happen. 3, open your door. Notice their energy. Notice how it feels. Notice who they are. Perhaps a name. Perhaps a date and time. Good. And now I just want you to see, feel, and know that loving light from your heart is being sent to them. Saying to yourself out loud in your space, I forgive you, so-and-so, whoever their name is. I release you. I hold no unforgiveness. I am free and you are free. Good. 2 more times. I forgive you. I release you. I hold no unforgiveness. I am free and you are free. 1 more time. I forgive you. I release you. I hold no unforgiveness. I am free and you are free. Archangel Michael is now assisting in removing cords from your chakras connected to you and this person. Notice where he's at. He's easily flicking out the energy. Take some deep breaths, though, so that you can assist him in doing that. Exhaling, really letting it go. Inhale. Exhale, let it come out. Whatever chakras need to shoot it out. Maybe your entire being. Good. Front and back. 2 more rounds. Sending it back with love and light, just wrapping it in a cocoon of love and light. Good. 1 more round, a little deeper. Sending it back with love and light. I am free and you are free. I am free and you are free. Good. Closing that door now. Seeing them turn their back and walk away. Closing the door. Now, if you feel guided to do the same with another door, feel free to do that now. Noticing the size and shape of the door. Opening it when you're ready. Seeing their higher self on the enlightenment plane. Sending the love from your heart. I forgive you. I release you. I hold no unforgiveness. I am free and you are free. 2 more times. I forgive you. I release you. I hold no unforgiveness. I am free and you are free. Archangel Michael's now assisting, flicking out the energy. 3 big breaths, helping him out. Breathe it in. Exhale, release it out, wherever it is on the body, front and back. One more round. With love and light. Good. Wrapping it in a beautiful pink cocoon of love and light. So no negative energy flows between us. I am free and you are free. Seeing that person then turning their back, closing that door. Coming to the center of your space, knowing you can do this again as needed and with others as needed. Whenever we go into our theta state up on the alignment plane, we're doing deeper work. And as you're in the center of your room, I want you to call all your power back. Just reel it in like fishing lines, coming into all the chakras, the crown, front and back of third eye, throat. Reel it in, heart, reel it in, solar plexus, belly, root. Oof, reel it in. Into the middle of your beautiful space now. I want you to see, feel, and know that there is a rose quartz chair. It's like a throne, and you're going to sit on it. It fits your body perfectly. Perfect temperature, perfect mold. It's very comfortable. You feel very peaceful, very loved, very relaxed in your rose quartz chair. Your Reiki guides are here, your ancestors are here. The Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel and Metatron are here blessing us further as we get into our Reiki 2 attunement today, clearing our emotional and mental layers of our beings. Good. Remembering your being is fluid and constant movement. Allowing as much to come in as you're ready to receive today. And being receptive is also, feminine and emotional, where our mental aspects might be more projective and masculine. Nice ebb and flow, expansion and contraction. In and out. Good, beautiful. And now, with the assistance of my guides and ascended masters, my beings of light, I now attune you to Reiki 2. If you would like to do the dragon's breath with me as I call out your name to amplify the energies and be in a receptive mode, palms face up and flat. Here we go. Jennifer, sending level 2 to you now. Daniela, sending level 2 to you now. Amanda, sending level 2 to you now. Shelley, sending level 2 to you now. Dory, sending level 2 to you now. Ricky, sending level 2 to you now. Lauralee, sending level 2 to you now. Rachel, sending level 2 to you now. Aaron, sending level 2 to you now. John, sending level 2 to you now. Kyoko, sending level 2 to you now. Janine, sending level 2 to you now. Teresa, sending level 2 to you now. And now there's a bunch of swirling lights around each of you. All of the chakra colors. Some of the hues are a bit more pastel, lighter and loving. Swirling around you at the feet, letting it come up the legs, the base, going up the stomach, the chest, shoulders, up the head. So much love and light flowing to you now. Beautiful. And Mother Mary's here to assist, and she's in front of you, and she's placing beautiful roses into each of your chakras. A red rose in the root, an orange rose in the belly sacral. Really accept it, breathe it in. Good, take it into the center of each chakra, nice and deep. Bringing a yellow rose into the solar plexus. She's placing a green rose in the heart with a little pinkish hues at the tips. Placing a blue rose at your throat. And a purple rose at your third eye. Beautiful. And a white rose at your crown. And your crown chakra is opening up larger in full bloom now and spinning. Bringing in all the abundant energies of the universe as you allow them now to spiral into your main channel, bringing that beautiful light back down the body, down the third eyes, the head, the throat. See that spiral, beautiful clockwise spiral. If it went the other way, that's okay. Bringing it down the chest, the shoulders, the arms, the stomach, the belly, the hips, the thighs, the knees, the calves, the feet. Anchor down. Beautiful. Taking your beautiful hands now, rub them together. Maybe scanning your being, asking the guides where you would like the Reiki 2 energy to flow for you today. Placing your hands where guided. Calling on your higher self and beings of light to assist you and bringing in the most highest frequency allowed for us today. Good. This will help anchor in that attunement. It'll also help spread the energy out, bringing it all the way down to feet. So spend a little time here, the little self session. And I'm continuing to work on each of your energies with the assistance of your guides and higher selves. If you feel any areas where you're holding on, take a deep breath, exhale, ask, see, feel, and know that you're letting go a little further. Ah, good. Asking that this energy continue to flow. Now taking your hands to another position where you feel guided. Maybe scan again. Ask your guides, your higher self, or just go there. Notice your breath, breathing a little deeper, taking it down to your cells. Exhaling out your hands. You might see it coming out your heart. Reiki does come out the eyes, the chakras, the palms, the feet. We're very heart-centered beings, so it's mostly going to come into heart and come out the hands. Good. And your Reiki energy is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Ah, good. Another deep breath. Exhale, releasing a little more, sinking into your being a little heavier. Letting all the weight go. Let it go. Anything that no longer serves you, any emotions you've been carrying for others, all those wounds you've been holding on for an entire lifetime, all those wounds from prior lifetimes, let them go. Beautiful. And maybe taking your hands to another position or coming back to your center, belly and solar plexus. Whatever you feel guided to do now. If you want to continue with the energy, and remember you can Reiki yourself in the bathtub, anywhere, okay? And as you Reiki the things, just call on it. Good. Call on your guides every morning. Ask for the protection every night. And as you go throughout your day. And I'll post more in the group. We have more pages. And let us know how you're feeling collectively. I'll be checking in with you guys as a group tomorrow. And please reach out if you're in suffering mode. Okay. We thank the Reiki energy. We thank all of our guides and higher self. And we ask that the Divine Mother, Divine Father, and all that is holy and true, and with the power of unconditional love and all that we are, that all of our power has come back to our bodies, and that we command that our bodies be fully cleansed by the highest order of angels and greatest light. And we now reclaim all of our sovereign power throughout all of our bodies, through all space-time continuum, in every dimension, plane, and parallel realm. And so it is. Amen. Mwah. I love you guys. I hope you're feeling amazing. And please keep channeling energy. If you do have any headaches or discomfort, you might just need to bring it through. All right. And yeah, notice how you feel throughout the day and night. And I'll be checking in tomorrow. Love you guys. Namaste.